After 25 years living in London, I've returned to my birthplace amongst the mountains of the South Wales valleys. Join me as I journey my new life with plans of growing my own food and ultimately creating my own homestead. Videos are posted every week, so if you like this one, give the video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. I think it's the autumn equinox today, isn't it? It's either today or tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow. I found this the other day, which was my jumper that I've worn for the last few years. It's got the rusty cat there. So I thought I would dig it out and put it in the wash now that we're getting to winter. Just going to take this off because it's only wood. So I've just done some washing, but I have to be careful because I'm used to doing jumpers that go in that big and then come out the size of a kitten. So I've got to be sure to put it onto the wool setting, because apparently today, weather-wise, it's going to be a nice day. And I've already put some clothes out this morning. Amber just came downstairs, howling to go outside. It's the first time she's been out since Thursday. They've always been outside, so I think it'd be strange if I tried to keep them in. Plus it's going to be a nice day today, apparently. Topsy is sleeping on the bed. She's been there since Friday. She slept with me for the last 2 nights. She was the one that was closest to Ollie. Just taking 1 hour at a time. See, she's looking up at the wall. She knows something. They did see Ollie before I took him down to the homestead. But she can be outside for about 20 minutes and then I'll just call her back in again. I've got to go back out at some point. Today so far has been a much better day than yesterday. And I was talking to a friend yesterday and I said I don't feel like picking up the camera. I said I feel like having a few weeks off, to be honest. But the problem is, this is my job, so if I don't make videos, I don't get an income. And as she said, if you had a full-time job, you'd be back to work on Monday. You wouldn't be able to have time off. So she said, pick up the camera and just start to film and just see what happens, even if I just delete it. So this is what I'm trying. So thank you to each and every one of you for all the kind words and messages over the last few days. And also special thanks to Carol Ann, who has been there every step of the way. we were saying on the phone, we only just sort of, it feels like odd that Ollie was here for months. But we realised while we were having a chat that he was 5 months old. But I didn't go and pick him up until July the 3rd. So he'd only been here for 2 months. And we packed so much into those 2 months. I'm not surprised that I slept all day Friday and Saturday. It was only when I was going through my photos last night. Also, the other thing I said was, when you look at the pictures and the videos, I think he had a growth spurt in the last 2 weeks. Really shot up. So at the moment I'm going through a period of firsts. Such as when you wake up in the morning, you open the door, and then you realise that he isn't there. I used to do this strange thing when I used to go to so I'd wake up in the morning, first thing I'd do is go off to the toilet. I think I might try and cut some veg, because I haven't really had a good meal since Thursday night. So I would go to the toilet, and the first bit of toilet roll that came off the roll, he would always jump up and just get in his mouth. So he'd be on the floor playing with it. And as I would be on the toilet, there's no polite way to say this, he would then pop into his little tray by the side of me. We would then have 10 minutes of putting the comb through his hair, and then I would go off and have my scrambled egg. So it was strange this morning to eat my scrambled egg and not have a little hand trying to come up and try and have some of the food. Close the back door a sec. That was Amber. She just shot back there. It's the first time since she's been out. It was interesting when she was out just now, if you noticed, she kept looking up at the wall. So the guy that put it on to Facebook, he said, I'll try and find some CCTV to see who was driving the car. And at about 4 o'clock on the Friday morning, I sent him a text and I said, don't bother, there's no point. And then yesterday, I went down the shops. And on the way back, there was somebody in the street getting into their car, and I thought, I don't particularly want to see anybody, and I knew this person would want to stop and talk. So I ducked down the side street, but then I realised I was in the street where the accident happened. And even though you know you shouldn't do it, I found myself going for a walk, and then I could see in the middle of the road the pool of blood where it happened. So I've been looking at the videos that I've made over the last few months. I wish I'd filmed more in the last 2 weeks, because that's when he really seemed to develop. Like I said, he got a lot bigger. And what I just couldn't get over was the speed of everything. Because I looked out of the window at 7:30 and saw him on the roof of the shed next door. And I said, 10 more minutes now, and then we'll all come in. Because I realised how all of a sudden how dark it is by Well, it was just starting to get dark then. So I couldn't work out when the neighbour had posted it on Facebook. I couldn't work out how the time scale. So I went back and looked at the CCTV. And it happened at exactly 7:45. He's playing in the garden. And you can see him looking up at the wall. And if you look back at all the other footage, you can see that he's got it in his mind that today was the day I was going to go and have a look what was on the other side of the wall. Because you can see him at 8:30 in the morning, and he's in the garden and he's staring up at the wall as if to say, what's going on up there? As they said, curiosity killed the cat. So at about 7:44, he jumps up on top of the wall. And then all of a sudden, jumps up on top of the van, because there's always a van that's parked there. He jumps up on top of the van and starts playing on this guy's roof. And you can see that he's trying to work out, how do I get down there? That looks interesting. How do I get down? And I can see on the time, at exactly 7:45, he jumps down. But to be honest, when you look at the footage, because you can't hear anything, all you can hear is a car suddenly goes past the house. There's no run up to it. And I truly believe that he was either still halfway jumping onto the road. I can't even imagine that his 4 legs would have got down. So it was just very bad timing for everybody. He just jumped down, and before he even got to the floor, the car was there. So not even the driver would have had a chance. And to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if the driver didn't even realise, because you can tell by the light of the car. He jumps down and the car is just there. And then somebody walked past, saw him, picked him up and put him on the side of the road. And then went and knocked one of the houses, somebody who they knew had lots of cats, and said, "Is that your cat?" And he went down to go and have a look, and then he lifted him up and put him into a box and took it, and then took him home. He then phoned somebody, I can't remember who it was. He phoned somebody to come and scan to see what the chip said. But Ollie didn't have a chip. In fact, he was due in next week to have the chip and to have the old snip. So they put it onto Facebook, and I literally happened to see it about a minute after. And then I asked him to take it down then. There was no point in staying up. But now Facebook, typical, isn't it? You see something on Facebook, you interact with the post, and then the next thing, that's all I've had for the last few times I've gone onto Facebook, is Ginger Cat down by the Baglam Fields been hit. Does anybody know? Or there was one down by Pentra. So that's all I've seen online every time I've gone onto Facebook is this your cat? Is this your cat? So I've put a lot of the groups that I'm on into snooze mode. You know, you can put things to snooze for 30 days so you don't have to see them. So that's what I've done. It's just the house is very quiet. might go for a walk later, I don't know. I laid in bed so much yesterday. When I woke up this morning, my back was hurting a bit. So I'm trying to move. But it's a case of, if I go down the homestead, like, I'll be in the house for a lot of the day, and then I'll think, I'll pop down the homestead. And then you pop down the homestead, and then you think, I just want to be home. So who knows, I might pop down the homestead later, I might not. There's no playbook for this, is there? So yes, this is the first video back to try and get some normality back. I sent a picture off this morning to Vistaprint, to have one of these canvas photos done. So I'll put one up down the homestead, and I'll put one on the fire here. Right, I've made this food, but it's, I suppose it is time. I'm trying to force myself to eat. I need to do some shopping as well. I opened a drawer, and there was a load of kitten biscuits there. So I donated them to the food bank on Friday. I thought I could keep them and give them to these, to give them to Amber and Topsy. I'm going through a thing at the moment where I'm getting all their names mixed up. Right. I'm trying this at the moment. Oh, throwing my food around. I'm going to try for a while to eat broccoli rather than eating potatoes. Right, I've just remembered I haven't actually finished it. Oh, I'm so on the ball today, I've even put out the rubbish, which I don't normally do until Monday morning. Right, where's my scraper gone? Oh, there it is. So yes, thank you very much to everybody for your kind messages on the social medias. But it's hard to believe it was only since July the 3rd. So I don't know. Videos will come when videos come. I'm not going to try and stick to any schedule. Although, maybe saying that, maybe it would be good if I did. Because there's no point sitting about all day. Right, I'm not sure what I'm making. I'm just cutting up all my food that I've got. In fact, if I make too much, I can always eat it tomorrow. I don't have any mint sauce though, so I'm going to have to go out. But they say that the coming week is going to be a nice week of sunshine. This is the Indian summer is finally coming. I like sweet, but it's a bit of a difficult one to clean and everything. A few people on the responses have said, get a new cat immediately. Whereas others have said, don't bother to get, leave it for a few years. And I'm in two minds. So I don't know, we'll just take that as time goes on. But then the thing is, cats like to be outside. So Amber went out this morning. I think she was intrigued to see where Ollie was, even though she saw him in the box. But I think she was also intrigued because I looked out of the window this morning and there was a black and white cat there. So I don't know where he's come from, but he looked, as if he was about 12 years old. So I think she was just wanted to go out to mark her territory. Right, I'm going to do this now. So apparently we should have had storms last night. So I didn't see any. Not that I was paying much attention. It was raining quite heavily. I've got a bit of chicken. Managed to get some yesterday from the butcher. Right, that is done. Although I have been steaming my food, so it's just habit that I've put it into this saucepan. Right, what was I going to do with that? Oh dear. Not sure where my large saucepan's got to. Ah, there it is. Ah, right down the bottom, so I haven't used it for a while. I did manage to cut a bit of fur off Ollie before I put him into his resting place. And Caroline's going to find a place she knows somewhere where you can buy a little locket or something. Right, put that in there because cauliflower has a tendency to change colour. Oh, I've got to sort out as well. I had an email Thursday morning. Remember when I went to Kenfig Hill the other week? I tried to pay the parking and it said it didn't work. So I took a screenshot, I filmed it, I sent them an email the next morning. They didn't bother to get back, so I took a picture of that. So when they sent me the £60 fine on Monday, I contested it and said, well, I tried, but your thing wasn't working. Well, it's come back and apparently they aren't taking any notice. So I'm going to complain to the next, is it the ombudsman or something? Although last night I did think to myself, oh, just pay it and then it's out the way. But I haven't got it, so I can't. So we're going to have to fight it. Plus I do have all the receipts, as they say. As the youth of today say, we've got the receipts. So I've got the video of me trying to pay and it not working. So right, I'm just rambling on now. I don't know what I'm saying, to be honest, other than put a bit of salt in. I put so little salt in, there's no point actually putting it in. But apparently it's good for you. Right, so thanks again for all your messages. And I will see you whenever I see you next. So from me, Amber and Topsy, bye for now.